This is FBG Jen.
And FBG Kristen.
And I'm FBG Margot, host and producer. You're listening to the podcast that will help you keep a lid on the junk in the trunk and inspire you to live a happy and confident life.
Each episode, we chat with motivational experts and celebs and share our own candid adventures in being healthy.
If you're looking for a podcast that's equal parts hilarious and enlightening, well then welcome to the Fit Bottomed Girls podcast.
Welcome back to the Fit Bottomed Girls podcast. This is FBG Margot, and on the line today we have FBG Jen.
Hey.
And we have FBG Kristen.
Yo.
We're funky today.
We're really feeling funky today. Well, we have a really great guest today. Her name is Alex Silver Fagan, and we're talking about women and strength training today because women, you need to lift some weights. We absolutely have to do that. And Jen, you and I were on this call today. So what were your thoughts about Alex? I really enjoyed her. I love talking to her.
She was so sweet, and I thought that her background and her entry and then progression to where she is now, her like entry into fitness and to where she is now, that whole story was really interesting. She started out as a getting into like bikini competitions, like fitness competitions, where she was purely looking at fitness as a what you look like sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And she says straight up that like that whole situation was like not healthy. Everything like was so fine-tuned to what she ate and what she worked out, and it was all aesthetics, and she's like it was terrible, but that is actually where she got her start. She started modeling and then became like a Nike trainer. She talks more about this, and now she's in a place where she helps other people to be healthy from the inside out. And it's not about what you look like, it is really about feeling good and then feeling strong. And actually I really liked her definition about what it is to be strong and how that is not just in how much you lift, although you definitely should lift heavy things as we talk about, but that it's more about your inner confidence. So I really just enjoyed the interview, and I love talking to people about anyone who's done a bikini competition. I'm always like, tell me how terrible it is.
Me too.
Because you see all of these pictures like on Instagram, all this Fitspo shit that's like, the person with like their shirt up, like showing their like washboard abs, and it's like 4 minutes a day. And it's like, no, bullshit. Like,
right.
If you really want that kind of bikini body that they're showing, like this is what it takes. So I love it when someone's real like her and just like lays it out. Like, here's what it is, and here's how it's not healthy, and here's why I'm never going back there.
Do you remember when we talked to Autumn Calabrese? She had the country workout, and
yes.
And she also was a bikini model or fitness model, fitness competitor. And she would talk about like, you want a glass of wine, forget it. You want a cookie, no way. Like right. You want everything you eat is measured, and all of your workouts are so prescribed to the minute of everything that you do. So you're kind of giving up pleasure, I think, in your life when you're doing that. And so I'm glad. Well, let's talk about like Fitspo, because she was talking about like, what do you guys think about social media and people posting those kind of things on social media?
Kristen, go for it, Kristen. I've already been on my soapbox for a minute.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that there are many layers to this, because I think one of the really lovely things about social media is that it does provide an excellent opportunity to meet like-minded people with similar goals, and people who will help to celebrate you as you're hitting your goals, because they get what it takes, and they're supportive. And I think that can be a very slippery slope, though, of course, because it's one thing to be like, hey, I just killed my first PR, I placed in a 5K, or I whatever your goal is. And I think that we would all agree that that's like awesome and something to be acknowledged and celebrated, and high fives all around. And then some of these people are doing that, but then also really focusing on the way they look doing it. And that's where it gets really dangerous, because if you're not working out and eating well from a place of feeling like you deserve those healthy choices, and your body is worth taking such good care of, and you're doing it because you want to look that way, or even worse, because you want the likes that come from looking that way, then that starts a really dangerous cycle. So, I mean, in general, like when we think of Fitspo, I think that we're thinking of the latter there, where we're thinking of people who really are doing this to look a very specific way and to be acknowledged for that. And that, I mean, is a dangerous trend for sure. But I also just want to be careful about lumping everything that kind of gets related to that in, because I don't ever want someone to be like, oh, you know, maybe I shouldn't share this picture of me crossing the finish line because of blah, blah, blah. Like, no, like if you're doing something and you've worked hard and you're proud of it, I want you to share it. But that, do you guys see where I'm getting all jumbled up here? Like
intention. Yeah. It all comes down to intention in so many ways.
It does. And I think that can be mixed up, you know, right in your own head sometimes. That's why it's so important to get clear on your why. Like, why are you doing this? And then why are you sharing this?
Right.
Yep. Wow.
Yeah. I felt like that when Khloe Kardashian, when she started getting really into fitness, she started posting a lot, and I'm proud of her. She's strong, and she's like, you know, making herself healthy, and that's a good thing to send out into the universe, like taking care of yourself, making time for yourself. But a lot of her stuff she posts is about her wardrobe and all the different sneaker colors that she has. Everything's color coordinated, and she has like 10 or 20 of everything. And it's that kind of stuff that really rubs me the wrong way, you know, just, and, you know, because I just, you know, dirty old sneakers and your regular workout gear is fine. That's all you need to work out. You know, you shouldn't have to aspire to spend that much money on all that stuff. And I get but I get muddled too, because like, it's her life, it's her business, and people like her. Why do I care?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's also comparison trap. I feel like
well, there you go.
It's like comparison trap on steroids, like in social media. It's just I think it's almost impossible to like flip through Instagram or something and not view something through the lens of yourself. You know, through the lens of how that is like or unlike you. It's just so difficult.
That's so funny. I teach a class on Thursday nights. And it's evening now, and so it's dark at night. So I look across, and it's a very high-end apartment complex. Like, so that's across from me, these condos. And there's this couple, and I can see their gorgeous kitchen and their gorgeous living room and their bedroom. Like, all the lights are on. I'm like, that's a thing I'll probably never have, and it's over there. Oh. It's like I know. It's so such pretty. A weird thought. It's a weird thought to get in your head, but I was like, oh, that kind of bums me out a little bit. I mean, I'm happy for them, but damn, I would kill for that oven, you know?
Right. So but at least you have awareness, you know what I mean? You don't like hang your head down for like, you know, the rest of the night. Like,
no, but it is a quick thought that flashes through sometimes, which is so weird.
Yeah, it's human nature.
So with that in mind, can we touch on, because like you said, I mean, we are all going to see these images, whether it's on Instagram or through the window of our spin studio, we're all going to see things that, I don't want to say make us feel bad about ourselves, but give us that moment of like, oh, I wonder what it would be like to, you know, be that size, to be that fast, to have that kitchen.
Right.
How do you guys deal with that?
I stick my head in the sand?
Yeah.
Is this a good answer? I mean, in a lot of ways, I do. I just limit a lot of my social media, and I try to be aware of how I feel like before, during, and after. Because sometimes I will find like if I'm not in a particularly good, if I'm in a good headspace, usually everything's pretty much okay. But if I'm not in a great like headspace, I'm not having a great day, and then I'm like bored or I'm just trying to check out from whatever, and I am scrolling through my phone, and then I see all that stuff. I mean, I can find it's not making me feel better. Like nothing's making me feel better. And that's when I have that awareness, I can be like, okay, put that away. Let's go do something that will make me feel better. And then honor that, and then engage. So, I mean, engage on social media when you feel good. Yeah. Be careful who you follow too. You know, just be really aware. It makes a difference. Even if you think it's not making a difference, it does make a difference.
Yeah, and just limit it when you can, when you have to, when it feels like it's going to be damaging. But also positive self-talk. And this is an old Tony Robbins trick that I'll send out to you guys that works for me. This is very cheesy, but I'm going to admit that I do this. Tony Robbins has a thing when you're really feeling down. Think of all the people who love you and literally just name out all the people who love you. And I'm telling you, you will feel so much better in a
That's
very
sweet.
quick amount of time. And that's what I start doing. You know, you guys love me. My mom loves me. My students love me. Like my cats love me. Just little things like that. That helps. That helps. But definitely you have to cut down on some people you just don't follow, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You say that's not good for me. Yeah.
Yeah. So I say we just get right into this interview today. What do you guys think?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Alex Silver Fagan is an ACE certified personal trainer as well as a certified functional strength coach who knows how to get results. She focuses on building strength and full body functionality with training programs that include powerlifting, Olympic lifting, CrossFit, running, rowing, spinning, and yoga. With her passion for fitness and unique personal style, she has developed a strong social media following and inspired women all over the world to become their strongest selves. As a Nike trainer, her hardcore workouts have reached hundreds of thousands of viewers. Alex works regularly with publications like Shape, Self, and Women's Health as a content contributor and model, and she was named as a top 5 finalist in 2016 Women's Health magazine's Next Fitness Star search. You can follow Alex on Instagram at Alex Silver Fagan. She is here today to talk about her new book, Get Strong for Women, Lift Heavy, Train Hard, See Results. Welcome to the show, Alex.
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
Well, we're thrilled to have you on the show. This is FBG Margot, and on the line today we have FBG Jen.
Hi, guys.
So I'm going to ask you the first question. I caught a video of you on a local morning show as part of Women's Health Next Fitness Star competition. So can you tell our audience on how you started your fitness career and how you got involved with such a cool project like the Next Fitness Star?
Yeah, for sure. So that's quite a long story, but I'll try to condense it as much as I can. I'm 25 and I went to school in the city. I went to NYU, and my last year I had just come out of working at a club and working in fashion, and or I was like interning in fashion and working at a nightclub and finishing up my college education. And so I really wasn't in a very healthy place, and I found bikini competitions through Instagram, which is kind of funny in full circle because now my business is primarily on Instagram. So I found bikini competitions and I started prep for a show in June of 2014. And from there, I started competing. I then became an athlete with bodybuilding.com after entering a competition with them. And all of a sudden I was introduced to the fitness world in New York, so the group fitness world. And I started studying for my personal training certification. I started training at a place called City Road to teach classes. And then from there, Nike came into my class and found me. And then after that, I was offered a modeling contract with Wilhelmina. So it's just like one thing led to the other. And all of this just kind of domino affected into what I'm doing now, which is personal training, private clients. I'm a Nike master trainer. I teach group fitness classes at a place called Solace, New York. I also teach my own class called Flow into Strong, which is yoga and strength training together because I'm also a yoga teacher. And that is where I'm at right now. Long story short.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I have a lot of questions to ask you, but
Of course.
since I know that you've done bikini competitions, I know that we have a lot of readers who see kind of like the extreme fitspo stuff that can be on Pinterest and on Instagram and all that kind of stuff. That is, I mean, a lot of people like to do a bikini competition. It does take a certain amount of commitment. Like you're pretty structured, and there's probably, I'm guessing, not a lot of wiggle room in
Not at all. Not at
what
all.
you
It's
can do.
incredibly strict.
Yeah, can you talk to like our listeners about the difference between like an everyday healthy lifestyle and the lifestyle that it requires to have that kind of a body?
Yeah, for sure. So I, at the time, thought that competing in bikini competitions and bodybuilding was healthy, and it is so not. It's a sport and it's a hobby, and it is not a balanced lifestyle by any means. You essentially are weighing and tracking every piece of food that you eat and that you put into your body. You are not really able to socialize or go out with people because you can't eat out at restaurants. You can't drink. You can't you just need to be very strict with your schedule, especially also when you're eating. And then in addition to that, you're also going to the gym twice a day. I was going in the morning for cardio and then going back to lift. And when you're lifting and working out, you're not working out for health, it's for aesthetics. So now I don't work out that way or eat that way anymore. And I'm now in a functional type of training as well as the training that I give to my clients. It's not just let's make your butt look a little bigger and make your shoulders a little rounder. It's let's move well and feel good.
With more fit and strong role models that we're seeing in popular entertainment, there's still a fear that some women have that if I lift heavy weights, I'm going to bulk up. Can you explain how actually lifting heavy weights will actually help you lean out?
Yeah, absolutely. So, this is the question that I still get all of the time. It's that am I going to get bulky? And oh, you so won't. You so won't. So lifting will put on muscle, but muscle does not take up as much room as fat does. So you'll be gaining lean muscle mass, which is going to also help increase your metabolism so you can eat more and still lose body fat. You'll be, additionally for women, I mean, lifting weights is also helpful for calcium in your bones. But you won't be bulky. The only way you'll be bulky is if you are overeating, and then your body can't use that energy or use that food for energy and instead stores it for fat. So I lift very, very heavy weights, and I've never felt like I've bulked up in my life.
So, and I think that even for some women that get into the, the idea, they're like, yes, I lift weights, like I lift heavy, or I think I'm lifting heavy, but maybe I'm not lifting heavy. Because I think so many of us have gone to group exercise classes and lifted like 2-pound weights or 5-pound weights for like 10 years,
Yeah.
What's a really good, easy way for people to know, like, are they lifting enough, and or are they lifting too much, if there's such a thing?
So I think that if you can lift a weight for like a minute and not really be fatigued, it's definitely not heavy enough. I like to go based on reps. So if you're lifting something for, let's say, 5 reps, those last 2 or 3 should be incredibly difficult. And the same thing goes for 10 reps. The last 3 should always kind of be a struggle. And I always encourage people, a good way to do this is like, if you're looking at the dumbbells and you're about to pick up the 10s, just reach for the 15, just try it. Always go up, and what's the worst that happens? You just drop down, you know what I mean? And then you try it again next time. So, and then especially when it comes to lifting with a barbell, I definitely recommend starting with a trainer at some point, or at least having a program, which is what I wrote for my book, which is Get Strong. You need to go into the gym, have a plan, or else you're not really going to get anywhere.
Well, speaking of your book, Get Strong for Women, I've been flipping through it. It's beautiful. It's a DK book, and it's really well laid out. And right now, as we're recording this, it is freezing on the East Coast. We had a snowpocalypse kind of thing happen. And your book is great because you have sample workouts, in the back for people to do. What are some key pieces of equipment you think people need at home to work out to your book, or just to work out, especially if you're kind of on a budget? Are there a couple of pieces you think people should have on hand?
Yeah, so I do want to preface that this book is for a gym, because you need a barbell, you need a pull-up rack, you need rings, you need dumbbells, you need kettlebells. So this book is unfortunately, it does require a lot of those pieces of equipment, but they can all be scaled down to, let's say, if you had a set of dumbbells, maybe 1 kettlebell, and yeah, I think that's actually, and some resistance bands, I'd say, in a home gym. And I also post workouts on my Instagram all the time with just body weight and dumbbell and kettlebell workouts that are totally capable or totally doable in a home gym.
So many different exercise programs and just different books out there. It's amazing how many different options there are if you're interested in working out. There's lots of resources. How did you go about writing your book and making it different, making it you?
Making it different and making it me. So I think it's me simply because I wrote it. I've gone through a lot of different styles of training. So I started with bikini competitions and crafting my body to look a certain way. And then I transitioned to powerlifting for a little bit, where I was simply just working on lifting as heavy as I could. And then I went into CrossFit, and I'm moving quickly and moving weight in a different type of way that's functional. And I think with all of that background, my workout cater to all those different styles. So you're getting a really holistic approach to getting strong.
What is the exercise you find most women are hesitant to do or try, but you think could offer some amazing benefits if they can just kind of get over that?
Probably a deadlift or a squat. So both, they're two like of the main powerlifting movements. I think squats are a little scarier because the weight is kind of on you, even though we squat every single day, even if we're not holding a weight. And a deadlift, I think, is just, I mean, they're both total body, but there's something about just lifting something off the ground that is just so satisfying. And I think people get really scared because both of these can be used with a barbell, deadlift specifically. And it can be a little intimidating to put your hands on a bar that has like these heavy plates on the side, but you won't bulk up. It's satisfying. You'll feel strong mentally, physically, and you won't get hurt. Especially, you won't get hurt if you are looking at the proper way to do something, which I've laid out in the book, as well as working with a trainer. But it'll make you so much stronger.
Squats and deadlifts. What up?
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, it's kind of fun because, like, at least with the deadlift, like you can lift a good amount of weight. So it's kind of it's satisfying.
Yeah.
You know, like when you get there, you're like, oh, I'm lifting half of my body weight, all of my body weight, 1.5, 2 times my body weight. Yeah.
Most people can lift their body weight plus a lot more in a deadlift. Like, you think about what we pick up in the day to day, like groceries, children, dogs, and then New Yorkers also, we just walk everywhere. So I feel like our stamina is just that much better. But yeah, you can really lift a lot in a deadlift. And I think it's a good place to start because it'll make you feel strong instantly.
For sure. So so we're recording this at the beginning of the year. And I think even when it airs, it'll still be like pretty new in the year. So what are kind of the workout trends that you have your eye on, that you're loving? And are there any trends that you're just like, dude, that needs to go away?
Workout trends. So I've seen a lot of boxing, and I think that's great because it kind of gives you that same sort of satisfaction of doing something that's aggressive and intense. Additionally, I think recovery is becoming a trend, which I really, really love.
Yeah.
I think, and not just recovery as in like yoga, but actual true recovery of taking time to rest and I go to cryotherapy or infrared saunas and meditating and really taking the time to let your body reset before you go back to your workout. And recovery is so underappreciated, but so necessary.
I actually had a recovery week recently when I was visiting my mom, and I just went for long walks with the dog every day. And it was like my muscles were so thankful by the end of that week.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need that time. So when you're crunched for time, what are your quick go-to workouts? If you only have like a half an hour or 20 minutes or whatever, what do you go for?
So I have two favorites. Either I'll use a kettlebell and I'll do a kettlebell flow, which is a little bit dynamic. And if you're not comfortable with using a kettlebell, it's probably not the best option for you. But then I also love just getting a pair of dumbbells and going. My favorite time scheme is 40-20. So you work for 40 seconds, rest for 20, and I'll pick like 4 exercises, do either 4 or 3 rounds of it. And I've done like a 20-minute workout without a warm up or a cool down. Some examples, if you're listening, would be a front rack squat with the 2 dumbbells, then maybe a renegade row, so you're in a plank rowing the weights up. Then perhaps I do a deadlift with the weights, and then maybe a core exercise like a Russian twist or a burpee and get it a little bit more metabolic and not use the weights. And then I'm dripping in sweat.
That sounds tough.
Yeah. Try it. 40-20, pick your favorites and go for it.
That sounds fun. Fun in that kind of like, oh, I fell down on the ground and really pushed myself.
Yeah.
Miserable. That was actually really fun. Yeah.
That's my favorite type of fun. So.
Yeah. Me too. I'm currently really sore from some fun I had yesterday. So we started the conversation talking about the bikini competitions, and now you're in a very different place now with how you work out and how you know, approach your clients and functional and healthy and all that kind of stuff. And here at Fit Bottom Girls, we love talking about body image and kind of how we can see ourselves in different ways and kind of take off some of that pressure for women to look a certain way. So I just love to know, like, what you're kind of seeing in terms of your clients and yourself when it comes to body image. And if you think that, because I know, like, it used to be like everyone wanted to be skinny and now everyone kind of wants to be strong. What are kind of your thoughts on that? And what do you hope that women actually begin to aspire to?
Well, I hope that women are aspiring to be strong and not just this stick figure skinny, because there's so much more that goes behind that word, strong. But I also hope that they don't just want to be physically strong. So self-confidence and self-esteem, all of that it's more mental than it is body in any way. And if you're just focusing on the way you look, that's never gonna happen. So with strong, the workouts and your physical strength should be this gateway into just being able to tackle anything that comes your way. So that's what I would hope people or women would aspire to.
So do you have any favorite mantras to keep you motivated? Any kind of self-talk? Yeah. Anything you do? Wait, tell us, please.
Yeah, I always say you're stronger than you think you are. Always, always, always. Because even though I'm definitely stronger than a lot of people that I've met, I do walk into a gym every day, and there are people that are stronger than me, like physically, simply stronger. And I get really intimidated all the time. And I think also just being in the fitness industry, it's easy to look around and see what somebody's doing. And I always just got to step back and be like, Alex, you're stronger. You're stronger than you think you are. You got this. You don't need to be stronger in terms of comparing yourself, but make sure that you know that you've got this. You're stronger than you think you are, and you're definitely strong enough right now to get through whatever you need to.
I love that.
Me too.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because it's true. You're always stronger than you think you are. Always.
Which is why I said just grab the 15s.
Right.
Exactly.
Put down the 12s. Put down the 12s. Although, I wish the gyms had size 18. Like, the jump from 15 to 20 is so big. I always want an 18-pound dumbbell. Anyway.
I totally understand. And honestly, 10 to 15 sometimes, like 12 and a half.
Yes. Yes.
I don't have 12 and a half at my gym, but sometimes I wish I did.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry. This is just a side rant. I'm like, give me the 18s. Okay, so
There's
I think I'm
an 18-pound kettlebell.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Well, maybe that's the okay. Touche. I'm gonna ask one more question. I think Margot will ask our last one. I would just love to know. I know you shared what some of your go-to workouts were when you were crunched for time, but what is just your general everyday or every week workout routine like?
So I lift heavy 3 times a week, meaning I do either a workout from the book or I'm on a strength program right now. And that happens 3 times a week. In addition to that, either on the same day or a different day, I'll do a HIIT metabolic conditioning workout. So I'll do either a CrossFit workout or I'll take a body class, which is the class that I teach at Solace, New York, which is the gym that I train at. And it's basically just circuits, it's CrossFit, it's metabolic conditioning, it's all this good stuff where you're sweating. Or if I don't jump into that, I'll do my 40-20. I'll do a really quick HIIT workout. And then additionally, I also go to hot yoga at least 2 or 3 times a week. And if I don't go to hot yoga, then I do practice yoga at home on my own. So I have those 3 kind of modalities: lifting heavy, metabolic conditioning, and yoga. And I sprinkle them throughout the week.
Wow. That's impressive.
You have to remember, it's also my job though. So
yeah,
I'm lucky that I have those opportunities. But even if somebody doesn't get to work out 6 times a week, and I always include a rest day, but even if you don't get to work out 6 or 5 times a week, however many times you're working out, you should be mixing up what you're doing to challenge your body, to keep things fun, and to also give yourself time to recover from one workout to the next.
Before I ask the last question, I want to say once again, I really liked the layout of the book, and you really do a good job of like positioning and where people deep where their body should be when they're doing the barbell squats, let's just say. I'm just looking at this right now. But
Yeah.
do you recommend people, especially if they're just starting to lift weights, like maybe, a lot of gyms give you that one free training session where they'll show you around. Do you recommend people do that?
I do. I hesitate to say that because I know there's a lot of gyms with some trainers that aren't as skilled as they should be.
Right.
And I think you just need to, you have to use your judgment in what gym you're walking into. But it's always best to work with somebody who knows a little bit more, who understands the environment, just so you can kind of get your basics down. And if not, always feel free to shoot me an email. My email is info@alexsilverfagan.com. But yeah, I definitely recommend talking to somebody who's a professional.
Awesome. So, Jen, is it okay I ask the last question?
I think so.
All right, Alex, are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. Alex Silver Fagan, what was the last song you listened to before you did this podcast interview?
Ooh, let me check my Spotify. That's such a good question.
Isn't it fun?
Let's see. Oh, that's a great question. Let's see. It may not be a very good one. Oh God, it's very dirty. It's
Go for
Back Up by Dej Loaf.
That's awesome.
That's great.
That's a bad one. Oh God. But also in my defense, I was working out earlier this morning when I was using my Spotify. So that's probably why.
We don't judge here. It's a safe space.
Okay.
This is a very safe space.
There you go.
And just so you know,
outs of the trap queen, Alex Silver Fagan.
and just so you know, Alex, we're actually on Spotify now, so you can listen to our show
Oh,
on Spotify.
perfect.
Yes. So
You
hope
can
you'll
listen to this Spotify, and then you can go listen to Back Up.
Yeah, that's what we'll do. There we go.
And
That's
you can work out. Go work out.
Oh God, that's so embarrassing. I wish it was like an Ed Sheeran song or something. I wish I could redo that.
No, you got to be truthful. You have to be truthful.
That's why the
Okay.
question's so great, because it's always
Yeah.
like, nope, that's what happened. That's what happened.
That's great. I got to use that next time.
So once again, the book is called Get Strong for Women, Lift Heavy, Train Hard, See Results. And Alex Silver Fagan, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thanks so much for having me, guys.
Love this show? Tell us why in a 5-star review on iTunes, and we'll read it on the air. Also, make sure you are a subscriber. If you want to reach out to say hi or have a question about a recent episode, yay, well, feel free to email us at podcast@fitbottomgirls.com. And if this podcast jives perfectly with your brand, consider sponsoring the show. Get more info by emailing advertising@fitbottomgirls.com. Find all kinds of Fit Bottom goodness online and on social media at Fit Bottom Girls, Fit Bottom Mamas, Fit Bottom Eats, and Fit Bottom Zen. And if books and movies are your thing, check out the other podcast I co-host called Book versus Movie, which you can find anywhere where you search for podcasts. Thanks for listening.